Well, at least it was better than Godzilla. Hello everyone and welcome to my review of Kong, Skull Island. Yep. Directed by Jordan Vogt-Roberts. So, the basic plot, and I mean basic plot of Kong, Skull Island, is that it centers around a team of scientists who go to explore an uncharted island in the Pacific, venturing out into the domain of mighty Kong, and they must fight to basically escape the island. That's it. That's the story of this movie. Okay, let me just prepare myself. You know, I didn't really have any expectations going into this movie. I wasn't keen to see it, but I thought, fuck it, I'll go and watch it just for the sake of it. And, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. This movie sucks. Yeah, I'm sorry. I did not like this movie at all. I mean, I don't understand the reviews. I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm not gonna go into a rant about this because, to be honest, I didn't really expect much. Everything here doesn't work whatsoever. The main problem with this movie is that, like I said, nothing works. The story is terrible. Like, it's so simple that I can understand people kind of enjoying this for dumb fun. You know, it's a fun romp, but it wasn't fun for me. I thought that the characters were all weak. Let's go over some of them, shall we? Tom Hiddleston's character. Now, I like Tom Hiddleston, but not even the great demigod Loki could save this one. He's pretty okay in his role. He tries his best. He seems to enjoy himself in the role, but nothing really comes of his character. Like, his character is just there along for the ride. None of these characters are here for a purpose. They're all just along for the ride. You've got Samuel L. Jackson, who plays the Colonel. You have Brie Larson, who plays Mason Weaver. Oh, Mason's a girl? Oh, blimey. John C. Reilly, who plays Hank Marlowe. John Goodman. Corey Hawkins, and the list goes on. Toby Kebbell's also in the movie. God. You know, there is no point to any of this. None of the characters have any purpose in the story. They're all just thrown in there just for the sake of them being there. And, you know, we don't get any development for any of them, apart from maybe one, which is Toby Kebbell's character, who doesn't last very long in the movie at all. You know, but even then it's not much, you know. The movie's just trying to be this hardcore survival epic, and it just doesn't work. That's why I always profess that the Peter Jackson version is way better than this, because, I mean, I don't care that it's 3 hours long, but it actually did something with his characters. It made itself emotional, and it had a heart, and it brought humanity to Kong. This movie doesn't do any of that. It doesn't know what to do with its characters, it doesn't have a clear story, and it doesn't develop Kong as a character. Kong is just a CGI thing that punches people, whacks people across the face for no apparent reason. There is no caring about this person as a character. At least in that Peter Jackson film, you cared about Kong as a character, and when he died at the end, you felt something. You really felt it, because you spent time with this guy, and he had a great relationship with Naomi. What's his character? And with this, nothing. He's just there to basically beat up the other creatures. That's it. And then, you know, they try to basically rehash the Peter Jackson movie when, at the end, he saves the female. They saves Mason at the end, and, you know, she kind of has a moment where she touches him and sees that he's not such a bad creature, when they sort of realise he's not actually the one who's to be killed here. But you just don't give a shit. The story doesn't go anywhere. You don't give a crap. it's a drag as well. The movie goes on. I mean, the first 20 minutes or so are kind of promising when they're bringing the characters together. They set up the characters quite well, but then none of them get any development. They're introduced, competently enough, but then after that, they just fumble around. They don't do anything, and most of them die anyway, so it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not to say that the cast are bad. The performances are good. Like I said, Tom Hiddleston does well. Samuel L. Jackson does quite well. John Goodman does well as well. Brie Larson does well. She's pretty attractive, by the way. She was nice to look at. And I just don't think that the design of this movie is very good. I know this is a nitpick, but the whole look of Skull Island and the feel of it doesn't feel threatening. It feels like that it's in a studio, that they've shot this in a studio. You feel like this jungle, it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel real enough. I mean, God, even the action does nothing for me. The action just reminds me of Godzilla. I mean, the 2014 Godzilla movie, which Gareth Edwards directed, it was pretty bad. That one movie was bad. This is a bit better than that, but doesn't say much. There's too many characters in this movie, too many that it knows how to deal with, and they're all just along for the ride. They're all to get killed off. And John C.Reilly is in this movie, and guess what? He's not funny. He's not charismatic. He's just John C.Reilly. He's John C.Reilly playing John C.Reilly in a King Kong movie. He's we're meant to think that this character has gone mad because he's been on the island for nearly 30 years. He's been a bit doolally, but it's so forced. The script for this movie is terrible. It doesn't know what to do. The humour is so off point, and none of the characters are developed, as I've said. The movie's pace is plodding. It's not as badly paced as Godzilla, but even so, that doesn't say much. I mean, most of this movie is them walking around, then fighting, walking, fighting, walking, fighting. And then the climax of this movie, the climax came around, I was so bored, I was done with the movie. Kong fighting the creature or whatever it was. It didn't have as much impact for me as the Peter Jackson one, because I'm sucking up to the Peter Jackson one, but I generally do think that it's a lot better. You have Kong actually fighting to defend, and you feel like, there's a relationship developing, and, he's not in a romantic way, but that he actually cares for her, and he's a caring creature. With this, Kong is just a big monster. He stomps around, and occasionally he roars. He's like, "Argh!" And then he just fights people. That's it. The action doesn't entertain me at all, because I don't care about the characters and I don't care about the drama. There isn't really any drama in this movie. The story, there's nothing to the story. There's nothing to it. I mean, even the relationship between Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson's characters are terrible, really. Yeah, I mean, not them. They perform well. The performers are competent enough, but yeah. And I mean, the motion capture work is nice and appreciated, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I mean, it doesn't. There's no stakes to this movie. You feel like everything just happens for no reason, and consequently, this movie just drags. And it's only 2 hours long. It's funny. It's funny that the 3-hour King Kong movie is much better paced than this movie. The direction by who directed this movie again? Jordan Vogt-Roberts. It's not badly directed, but it's not great. Like, it's just all right. It's just kind of his direction is just okay. It's just thrown together with not really a clear vision of what he's trying to do. Like, obviously correct myself there. The clear vision of this is obviously to be like a hardcore survival movie, but it just doesn't work. I mean, there's moments of tension and moments of suspense which do work quite well. And there are some nice shots, I guess. Cinematography is decent. But generally speaking, this movie's a bit of a mess. I mean, and, I don't care. I didn't stay for the end credits scene because I was just bored to tears. I mean, the scene in the credits was nice. I watched that. I thought, okay, that's appreciated. But I can't really say much positive things about this movie. I didn't like it. I mean, the CGI, I suppose, and the visual effects are very good. And, I mean, the action, whilst I didn't think it was that impressive, I thought okay, it's well done at least, but it's not to my taste, but I know others will enjoy it, so I'll give them credit for at least trying to do some good action sequences. But it's just a drag. It's a drag, but it is better than Godzilla, despite the fact that the characters are just so one-dimensional, and the comedy is just forced and it's just terrible. It's not good. Yeah, so I don't have much to say about this movie. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Yeah, that's my review of Kong Skull Island. Yeah, let me know what you think down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Put your comments down below. Let me know. Tune in for my future reviews, guys. So thank you all for watching. And as always, I'm Mr. Thomas Levin. See ya.